What is up, guys? Set 5.5 has been revealed. There's some dates there you may be interested in, but there's so much to go over. We're going to dive into something pretty bizarre to start off with, okay? The new champion, Akshan, I think is how you say his name. You can flame me in the comments for being wrong about that one. But check out how nuts this champion actually is, okay? You can see him swinging around, doing crazy shenanigans, and you're going to laugh at how this round actually goes. We'll dive into the specifics of this ability in a bit, and if this doesn't deserve a fatty thumbs up, I don't know what does, guys. Okay, this champion is absolutely absurd. All right, this whole cannon thing was a bug. You don't actually steal the unit to come on your team, but yeah, if you want to watch that again, I don't blame you. That was disgusting. Okay, champions, traits, overviews, sentinels, new class we're going to be taking a look at. Cannoneers, same thing, victorious as well. Two new champs, which there are many more, but Akshan and Gwen. Super excited to talk about those. All right, item overviews. Oh my goodness. Rest in peace, shadow items. Radiant items are the new thing. We're going to dive into all of that, as well as a Radiant's Blessing and a Tome of Emblems. Okay, a Radiant Blessing is where once you drop below 40 HP, no matter who you are, where you are, if you're in first or last place, you're going to get this orb, which is hopefully going to bring you back into the game. So a lot of players were memeing about how a lot of people are going to open for it, get this, then pop off. But who knows what the actual meta will be, all right? As for Tome of Emblems, this is a super rare item that you may get in some of your games. Basically, you sell it, you're gonna get 5 things in your shop, and notice how they can be Ranger, Brawler, any class is on the table except for obviously the ones where it's like a unique trait and whatnot. But this is gonna be super cool to mess around with as well. Super excited. But let's dive into all the new champions. By the way, if you want to take a sneak peek or skip around to whatever it is you want to talk about, down below it is categorized and formatted to what you want to look at on the whole YouTube bar thing. But Olaf, passive, gain 1% attack speed for each 1% of missing health, and his attacks heal him for 30, which scales with AP, which is super cool. Get ready for some more carry Olafs. This champion is going to be nuts, okay? I'm curious what the best build path for this guy is going to be. I can only imagine. Oh, gosh. Frontlining him, having enough HP to survive some burst and heal his way back up is going to be absolutely nuts, all right? Senna uses her W, okay? So Senna launches black mist towards the furthest enemy, stopping on the first enemy hit. That enemy is stunned for 1.5 seconds, and all nearby enemies are dealt 200 damage. So shoots out her W, does damage around, stuns the target. Super cool stuff. All right, don't think she'll be a crazy carry. She's more of a unit that you want to put with the Sentinels and Cannoneers, which we'll get into later. All right, Irelia, she's pretty confusing, but tier 2 carry. Pretty cool how she works. Irelia surrounds herself with blades for 4 seconds, gaining 30% damage reduction, increased by 10% each time she attacks, up to 90%. When the effect ends, she strikes her target for 250 damage, scales with AP. Super cool stuff. Lots of damage reduction. She's going to be an interesting one. She's very hard to read off of just numbers alone. No idea what her best items are going to be either. All right, Pike. Rito loves adding champions like this into the mix. Pike leaves a phantom at his location, then dashes behind the furthest enemy. After 1 second, the phantom returns to Pike. It basically is his E in League of Legends. It's like Jarvan back in the day. Like I said, they just love adding champions that have this type of stun effect or ability in TFT. I don't know what it is, but yeah, Rito is obsessed with it. All right, not focused on damage, more so the utility. And it's nice that it scales with level. Who knows if they'll keep that in the long run. But Tristana, this is where it gets so wild. All right, a Hellion Cannoneer. Tristana leaps behind the furthest enemy, retargeting to them and gaining 160% attack speed for 4 seconds. If there is an enemy adjacent to her, she instead leaps as far away from all enemies as she can. So it's so weird. It's like half assassin almost, half 80 carry jump away. Who knows what's gonna happen? Playing her in a lot of the games that I played her in, she is nutso. All right, get ready for a crazy video on her. That's gonna be a cool one, especially with the Hellion attack speed, which we'll get into in a bit. All right, Rakan. By the way, rest in peace, Tarek. The champion has left us. Maybe Rakan will take his place. Okay, Rakan launches a feather towards his target, dealing X amount of damage for the first enemy hit. If Rakan then heals all nearby allies for 20% of their missing health, which scales with AP as well. Obviously, that scales with level as well. With increased radius if the feather killed an enemy. So, very interesting. Okay, AP on Rakan could be pretty nuts. We'll take a look at that in a second. All right, Misfortune rains down her E. So Misfortune rains down 4 waves of bullets down around her target, dealing 250% total magical damage. So hits 4 times, does that much damage in total, and reduces incoming healing by 50% for 6 seconds. I think Misfortune is probably going to be a very, very strong unit just because of the utility she has to offer. Great Morello's champion for the burn. Maybe not so much because she already has anti-healing involved. Who knows how that's going to work out. But the whole Cannoneer trait is going to be cool. This is a new tier 4 champion. Galio charges the area around him for 2 seconds, taunting all enemies within while gaining 70% damage reduction. Upon releasing the charge, Galio deals 200 magic damage, which also scales, to all enemies within 3 hexes and heals for 50% of the damage blocked. These numbers are for sure going to get tweaked. Oh my goodness, this champion, no wonder, is at a tier 4. It sounds disgusting. Okay, healing for 50% of the damage blocked while it scales. That sounds a little interesting. We'll see how that one ends up going. All right, Lucian with the ulti, baby. Lucian fires 18 shots in a direction over 4 seconds, each hitting for 50% of his attack damage and dealing 30 magic damage, which scales with AP. But listen to this as well. Lucian fires extra shots based on his attack speed. So he's scaling with AD, he's scaling with AP, and he's scaling with attack speed as well. Who knows how to itemize this champion? Oh my goodness. All right, Lucian will also dash during the calling to keep hitting enemies, which is super nice. There's nothing more unsatisfying than seeing Lucian ult into the abyss. So that'll be extremely nice and actually make him a viable carry that you might want to invest on into. Okay, Fiddlesticks, didn't get a screenshot of him, but after a brief channel, Fiddlesticks teleports behind his target and summons a Murder Crow for X amount of seconds, dealing X amount of damage per second to all enemies within. Enemies that die within the flock extend its duration by 1 second and heal Fiddlesticks for a percentage of their maximum health. That is so cool. Maybe it'll be much easier to see than just read, so we'll save that one for later. But this is the new crazy champion I was talking about, all right? Passive. Akshan's attacks reduces the target's armor by 50% for 5 seconds. Honestly, it scales with AP, but I don't know the duration scales with the AP, so I think that won't be that important. I mean, 5 seconds is more than enough time to get the job done. Who knows? That's kind of a weird scaling aspect of him AP-wise, but 80 will definitely be insane on him like you saw earlier. Okay, the active is Akshan launches his grappling hook and swings untargetedly towards the furthest enemy, gaining 75% attack speed for 4 seconds. Akshan will continue to attack the nearest enemy at double his attack speed while swinging. Okay, so yeah, that's very interesting. As you saw, he can turn around some crazy rounds. I am so excited to see this hero in TFT and League of Legends. Should be a lot of fun. Gwen, this is one that scales throughout the round, which is pretty fun. My favorite type of champions. We'll see how well it actually does. Gwen dashes around her target and performs 3 rapid snips in a cone in front of her, each dealing X amount of damage plus 5% of the target's maximum health as magical damage. Okay, but this is where it gets cool. Snips steal 1 armor and magic resist from their target. That's really cool. As well as every other cast, Gwen will perform double the amount of snips. So by the end of the round, we may be seeing 10 snips like this. All right, just 10 of them. Snip. So that'll be super cool. All right, Gwen sounds like an awesome champion. All right, now let's dive into some traits. Inanimate, one of Gwen's class's origins, whatever you want to call it. At the start of combat, inanimate champions summon a harrowing mist in the 1 hex surrounding them for 8 seconds, granting all allies within 50 damage reduction while they remain within the mist. So you're going to want to put champions that are ranged in here so they stay in here throughout combat. All right, you don't want anyone jumping out of this so they lose that bonus. Okay, Victorious, this is what God King basically turned into. Rest in peace, God King. That is no longer a thing. We'll go over all of those that have been deleted soon. But when Victorious When victorious champions score a kill, their next attack is empowered to deal 40% of the target's missing health as bonus magic damage. This is just Garen, so yeah, this is the new Garen ability instead of the God King trait from earlier. At the start of combat, the Sentinel with the highest health gains a shield that grants attack speed each time it is applied. When the shield is destroyed or expires, it will pass to the ally with the lowest percent health. This is going to be so cool. Lots of champions on in this trait. As you can see, Olaf, Senna, Irelia, Pike, Rakan, Galio, Lucian, and Akshan. A lot of the champions just we looked over. This is all their trait. I think this shield is super sick, and you're going to see it in action right here. Okay, so notice how highest health unit gets the shield to begin with. Then once it expires, you'll notice a lot of the lowest HP champions are gaining the shield. So right now it's this guy. Boom! That shield made him live for a little longer there. Beautiful shield there. And that's what I like to see. That was Rakan's ability, not the actual shield. But super cool there. And definitely going to turn around a lot of close fights, that's for sure. Moving on to Cannoneer. Okay, every 5th Cannoneer attack is replaced with a cannon shot that deals a percent of the attack's damage in an explosion around the target as physical damage. So as you can see, it scales up super hard. Obviously getting 6 is going to be extremely hard considering there's only 4 units in this trait. But another one I want to take a closer look at. Notice all these Cannoneers in the back. They have some giant auto attacks. Boom! The massive cannonballs that deal a massive amount of damage. Just like that. Notice how you can see the giant cannonball. That is going to be disgusting. Forgotten got changed up so much. Notice how it's no longer 3, 6, 9. It's now 2, 4, 6, and 8. Forgotten champions have bonus attack damage and ability power. Each victorious combat they participate in, they gain a bonus by 10%, stacking up to 5 times. Is this just Warlord copy pasted? I think it actually is, just without the HP aspect of things. I don't know if you guys played that set or not, but it was a good one. So yeah, now the victorious combat thing is back, and no more item shenanigans that you have to put on. So I think that's pretty cool. We'll see how good it is. Maybe it'll snowball extremely, extremely hard. We shall see. Moving on to Hellion. Notice how this is also no longer a 3, 5, 7. It's a 2, 4, 6, and 8. Okay. New champion to the mix, not Kled, not Poppy, not Ziggs, not Kennen, but Tristana. Ho, right there. For a second, I thought Tristana was a tier 1. It is a tier 2 champion. Then Lulu and Teemo, obviously. Hellions gain attack speed, same thing as before. Leap into combat once one dies, lots of attack speed. And Tristana is the new one added to the list. Pretty sure one of these bad boys was deleted, but I can't think of it right now. Screw it. Maybe not actually, but Revenant, moving on. I don't know if you guys know this, but they take and deal 25% increased damage. That was always a thing. I never knew it for the longest while, but hey, now you do if you didn't. And Fiddlesticks was added to Revenant. Okay, so Revenant still Nocturne, Iron Volibear with Fiddlesticks added to the mix. Reviving with 100% HP, that's going to be pretty juicy. Adding in 4 without a spatula is going to be nice as well. Curious what kind of team comps you're going to be able to make with that. All right. Removed champions. Rest in pepperoni to all these guys. Warwick, Lysandra, both gone. Oh, I'm going to miss them. Victor, Trundle, LeBlanc, all tier 2s gone. Rito hated balancing around LeBlanc. That was a difficult one for sure. Okay. Katarina, Pantheon, Morgana, also all gone. Not that surprised, if I'm being honest. Rise, another 50 mana champion that Shadow Blue buff just made go insane. Not fun to play against. Mordekaiser turned fights on the brink of a whim if he got his ulti off sometimes. Not surprised. He's gonzo as well. Tarek, I actually really like Tarek in a lot of my comps. Wow, 2 knights are gonzo because Darius is also dunzo. Alrighty. Curious how Last Whisper is going to gain priority here because there's no longer Darius to take out armor of everyone. Okay, and Kindred is also going bye-bye. The free late game Mystic champion that you would always put in, Kindred was extremely nice in that category. Okay, so bye-bye to all these champs. Take one more good look at them and smell you later. Removed traits. Okay, Verdant, Coven, Eternal, God King, Dragon Slayer. The only three that you really want to pay attention to here are Dragon Slayer, Verdant, and Coven, okay? Because obviously these are the single traits, just Garen Darius, and just the Kindred there. But it's gonna be cool. Honestly, Verdant didn't seem like that useful for me last set, because by the time you got CC'd, very often, more than not, this crowd control effect was worn off by then. Coven, I really liked it in the beginning of the set, started using it way less down the road. And Dragon Slayer was all over the place. Generally, Diana Mord were so good in so many comps, you put them in a lot of things. It's gonna be interesting to not have that option anymore. Okay. Moving on to Radiant Items. Holy cow. Okay, so the way this works is you will get one Radiant item on the round 3-6. They're willing to move it around wherever that is, but you're going to have an option of 5 Radiant items to choose from. And let's take a look at Radiant Archangel Staff, shall we? Each time the holder casts their abilities, they gain ability power equal to 75% of their maximum mana. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is why you only get one of them. Notice how it's an insane power-up and there's no drawback behind it. So that's craziness, all right? We're going to speed through all these. Radiant Bloodthirster. Physical damage heals the holder for 50% of the damage dealt. That's craziness. Upon falling below 40% health, the holder gains a 60% max held shield that lasts up to 5 seconds. Maybe running a lot of HP on your carry now could be an actual viable thing, all right? You also gain 30 AD, which is pretty freaking cool. Radiant Blue Buff. Oh my goodness. After casting their ability, the holder gains 30 mana. No longer 50, 15 shenanigans. And you also gain 30 ability power to go along with it. This is going to be so good for casters because that ability power is tagged onto it. Radiant Bramble Vest. Oh my goodness. Negates bonus damage from all incoming critical strikes. Got that. On being hit by an attack, deal this amount of damage to all nearby enemies. Yo, putting this on Scion as a 4-star is going to be wild. Okay, that damage is going to be nuking everyone around him every 2.5 seconds. That's going to be fun to watch. Okay, Radiant Chalice of Power. Is everything just radiant, 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 radiant? Oh, that's so easy to remember. Heck yeah. Okay. When combat begins, the holder and all allies within 1 hex in the same row gain 50 ability power for the rest of combat. Pretty plain and simple. All right. And something they were talking about nerfing and buffing these items, I'll talk about in just 2 seconds. All right, I'll mention it once it comes up. But Radiant Deathblade contributes to a kill, 15 attack, starting at 4 stacks. Pretty cool, pretty strong. Like I said, they might make tweaks to the numbers, which we'll talk about in a second. Okay, Radiant Dragon's Claw grants 500 bonus magic resist. Oh my gosh. And notice how a lot of these have like these random power-ups here as well, right? So Dragon's Claw gives a bunch of MR, but also gives ability power. All right, Mordog was talking about how they have so many different levers to buff and nerf these items. They think they'll be able to manage doing just that, okay? Like for example, let's say this item's OP. They can either buff or nerf the ability power. They can either buff or nerf the magic resist. It's not just so all in one category anymore to where they're kind of screwed, okay? They have multiple levers to tinker with, as he said it, right? Radiant Frozen Heart reduces the attack speed of all enemies within 2 hexes by 50%. Radiant bonus plus 45 starting mana. That is craziness. They're going to cast so fast. That in itself could be game changer depending on who you put it on, okay? Radiant Gargoyle Stone Plate. The holder gains 40 armor and 40 magic resist for each enemy targeting them. So putting this on somebody in the front line where you solo frontline them, they're going to instantly become so beyond tanky. Good luck killing that, and everyone's going to be focusing that one person for that entire round. That sounds a nightmare to go against, okay? Radiant Giant Slayer. The holder's abilities and attacks do 10% bonus damage. If the target has more than 1100 maximum health, that bonus is increased to 75%, okay? A lot of people have over that amount of HP, and 75% of damage is a lot. Yeah, this is definitely a Giant Slayer. Not even a Giant Slayer, it's like a medium Slayer. Anyways. Guardian Angel, let's see what this does. Prevents the holder's first death, placing them in a static. What GA does after 2 seconds to return with 100% health, and they gain bonus 30% attack speed the entire time. So that's pretty cool. All right, no more drawback with the 100% HP and the attack speed. It's gonna be very interesting who you're gonna be putting this on, because like Kale sounds pretty strong to me. Get an attack speed bonus and the full HP regen, revive, whatever you want to call it. Ooh, at the beginning of combat, plenty phase, the holder gains both of the following: 45% attack damage and 45% ability power. Attacks and abilities heal for 40% of the damage dealt. Probably gonna be my favorite item. Probably gonna be the best item. Spooky Hodge was probably my favorite with the shadow items. Now that you always get this all the time, this is gonna be a force to be reckoned with for sure. I'll probably be picking this more often than not when it comes in my shop. Remember, you're gonna get 5 of these to choose from, 1 per game, and choose wisely. The holders, magic and true damage from abilities heal them for 50% of the damage dealt. Excess healing fuels a shield that protects the holder against up to 600 damage. That is so crazy, okay? If you put that on Squishy, they could be doubling their HP right then and there. I'm not even joking. So that sounds awesome, and there's going to be a lot of champions that this is crazy strong on, all right? Their goal is to make every single one of these Radiant items very good, to the point where there's no combination of 5 Radiant items that you can choose from that will be not so strong, okay? Their goal is to make every single option you get, whether no matter which 5 of the Radiant items you get to choose from, are all strong, okay? IE does what IE does, but also grants 40% critical strike damage. Ooh, I like that. So that gets I mean, it's just strong. You guys know what that is. Okay, Radiant Iron Spark. Enemies within 4 hexes have their magic resist reduced by 50% when they cast an ability. They are zapped, taking magical damage equal to 400% of their maximum mana. These numbers might get tinkered with. That's basically the whole map, and that's a lot of freaking damage coming from an item. Oh my gosh. If you're ever lacking damage later on, just snag this item and you might be A-okay. That's hilarious. Radiant Jeweled Gauntlet. Holders magic and true damage from their abilities can critically strike. The holder gains 80% bonus critical strike damage. Holy, that's gonna hurt. This paired with an IE is gonna be insane. Insane. Wow, each one of these sounds like they're just the most force to be reckoned with. It's ridiculous. When the holder inflicts a critical hit, the target's armor is reduced by 70% for the rest of combat. This effect does not stack. Radiant bonus, so you get a bonus 30% critical strike on top of it, which is nutso. That sounds amazing. And the bonus critical strike is awesome, because that's when the ability actually comes into effect, or whatever it's called. Radiant Locket of the Iron Solari. Okay, this is one that I think Mort said it was his favorite in a certain team comp. But when combat begins, 2 allies each side of you, bing bing, get a shield, which is massive, and it lasts for 60 seconds. Basically the whole round. Pretty sure that is the entire round. 600, 700, 800 health. Oh my goodness. I need some water. We're pounding through these right now. Radiant Morellonomicon. Love it, love it. When the holder deals magic or true damage with their ability, they burn the target, dealing 40% of their maximum health of true damage over 10 seconds and reducing healing by 50% for the duration of the burn. 40% over 10 seconds is nuts, all right? It might not sound so crazy, but in the past, it was mainly over 25 seconds. I know they've been teeter-tottering between like 10, 15, 25 seconds when it comes to Morellos, but 40% with 10-second duration, craziness. This item will be very popular if you have a lot of AoE in your team. Alrighty. Radiant Quick Silver. The holder gains immunity, crowd control in combat for 30 seconds. Is that the whole round? Pretty sure it is. Not sure how overtime works. That's an interesting one. Radiant bonus 30% attack speed. That's pretty nice. Okay. So hopefully your carry you put this on can actually utilize that. Death Cap. 100 AP. Plain and simple. No drawback. Loving the Radiant items. Gonna be curious to see which one of these I end up loving the most. Think it's gonna be the Hodge. Increase the holder's attack range by 2 hexes and grants 40% attack speed, including components. Okay, and the wearer can no longer miss. That's a bonus a lot of people overlook, I think, to this day. But notice how this is basically just like the old rapid fire. That just goes to show how strong it was back in the day. I think that's pretty funny. Redemption. Every 5 seconds, the holder radiates an aura to allies within 2 hexes, healing them for 40% of their missing health. Huh. Is this like Is this even better? It must be. I'll have to check. Like I said, numbers are susceptible to change, so don't take the numbers too serious. I'm sure a lot of them will be changing. I'm sure a lot of these will be beyond broken. We'll have to play and find out. All right. Hurricane. Oh my goodness. The holder's attacks fire a bolt at another nearby enemy, dealing 100% of the holder's attack damage and applying on-hit effects. These bolts can critically strike. You also gain 30% attack speed. That sounds nice. Okay. Super cool. 100% of the holder's attack damage. That's nuts. First time they ever did it on a Hurricane. Excited for that one. Ooh, this is pretty cool. When the combat begins, increasing their max mana by 65% until they cast. That is so much, okay? Also, the Radiant bonus, plus 15 mana for all allies at the start of combat. Wow. That in itself sounds just beyond broken as well. This one's going to be underrated. Like I said, they have multiple levers to balance items. Pretty sure they're going to nerf that. We'll see how that goes, okay? 15 additional mana every auto. There's the Radiant Spear of Sojin Foria. Pretty cool, pretty cool. No drawback, which is always nice, all right? Radiant Static Shiv. 6 enemies dealing 100 magical damage. You also get the MR reduction for 5 seconds, yada yada. Don't have to crit. That's pretty cool. But this, on an attack speed carry, is going to be nuking and zapping the entire map. There's no wonder you can only get one of these Radiant items per game, okay? Radiant Sunfire Cape. Every 2 seconds, a random enemy within 4 hexes is burned for 40% of their maximum health as true damage over 10 seconds, and healing is reduced. 4 hexes, like I said, that is extremely wide of a range. That is craziness. Hot diggity dog. All right, Radiant Thieves Gloves. This is probably Mort's favorite items because you get 2 temporary Radiant items on your one character, okay? So having 2 Radiant items, you saw all the other buffs that all of them had. So like the random plus 15 mana or Zephyr, we haven't taken a look at it yet, but you get attack speed to all allies on the board. So Thieves Gloves, pretty freaking solid if you ask me. All right, Titan's Resolve. Let's take a look. When the holder takes damage or inflicts a critical hit, they gain 6 attack damage and 6 ability power. Stacks up to 25 times, at which point where they gain 50 armor and 50 magic resist. Basically, Titans on steroids. Excited to see some mega carries that go into the late game that have some healing. With this on, it's going to be a force to be reckoned with for sure. All right. Trap Claw. They actually made this. Check this out. When the combat begins, the holder and allies within 1 hex in the same row gain a shield that blocks the first ability and stuns the ability's caster for 5 seconds. Oh my gosh. So you're basically giving an old trap claw to 3 people, and the stun duration is nuts. Okay, that's gonna be ridiculous. All right. Whoa there. I don't know how good this actually is, but they're tanky. Okay, champions that scale with HP, this is nuts. That's a lot of it. Oh my goodness. Anyways, ooh, with the Zika Ruskies. So, 1 each side, 50% attack speed. That's a lot of attack speed. I actually took this in the first game I played. Didn't play so hot. Maybe there's some better ones. We'll see. But depends on the comp. I'm sure a lot of these comps have specific Radiant items that make it go crazy. This is the Zephyr I was talking about. You not only stun someone for 10 seconds, get them out of combat or whatnot, but you also gain 10% attack speed for all allies at the start of combat. So, if your team comp just randomly needs attack speed, this could be the one. If you're going late game and you hit this on their carry, they're not going to be in the round for way too long. Okay, way too long. ZZ Rod, I gotta see this. At the start of combat, the holder taunts with enemies within 2 hexes. Got that. When the holder dies, a Radiant Void spawn with the bonus stats arising taunting nearby enemies. Radiant Void spawns that arise are summoned at 25% effectiveness. Gotcha. That's like 25% effective with the whole sound shenanigans. But I guess this ZZ route will just be crazy strong. We'll see how that goes and ends up being a thing. And removed items, rest in peace, shadow items. You no longer need to get the item you desperately want oh so badly on the carousel. My goodness. Okay. Honestly, I'm going to miss these a lot. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. And let me also think which Radiant item you think is best. Okay, I'm going to be reading all these comments. I am so excited to be playing set 0.5.5 with you guys. But we got more to talk about. Close this bad boy off. Some quality of life changes. Dragon's Claw, they felt that it was extremely weak early to start with a bunch of MRs. So if you do get unlucky, now it may not be so unlucky considering grants 200 bonus magic resist on being hit by magic or true damage from an ability. Launch a fireball at the ability's caster that deals magical damage equal to 35% of their max mana. 1 second cooldown. So you're going to be launching out fireballs from all the casters trying to knock you down. This was their attempt to make Dragon's Claw way stronger, mainly in the early game. Okay, so that should be pretty cool. Banshee's Claw, we'll read it and check it out. When combat begins, the holder and all allies within 1 hex, so to the right, to the left, in the same row, we gain a shield that blocks the first enemy's ability. This was what, the old Shadow Banshees, something like that. They just swapped it to the normal Banshee's Claw, which is pretty cool, I suppose. And starting orbs drop more normalized. No more 4 gold starts. I don't know if you guys ever had weird starts where you get a bunch of gold or random things like that. And 4-2 armory is 100% now, and it's back to components. All right, this is one of my favorite changes. It's a perfect time to just figure out your team comp, or not figure out your team comp, but finalize your item that you're looking for. Love that change big time. Okay, Little Legends. Oh my goodness, the Cactus Squink. This is everyone's favorite. A lot of people were big fans of the dragon as well. I don't know if you guys are into Little Legends. Maybe I'll finally swap off the UFO for a lot of my videos to one of these. All right, let me know which one you want me to see me use in the videos. I'll bust that on out. Alrighty, last but not least, taking a look at some arenas. Pretty cool stuff. I like how they're so interactive now while you're playing. I love that. Super fun stuff. And thank you all so much for watching. Again, if you take the time to drop a fatty thumbs up on this video, I appreciate it a lot. This PowerPoint has taken us quite a while to put together. Hopefully you find these useful. You can feel free to come back or go back. Remember, there's the bar at the bottom that'll tell you everything where you need to go. Come back whenever, check out what you need. Thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully we'll see you a whole lot this set for set 5.5. I'm going to have an absolute blast playing it. Bye, guys.